to watch at 8 p.m. tomorrow.
What about 8 YOWB?
8-year-old white boy. He'll be the victim.
Tom, this is... How big is this network? What are we looking at here?
Based on what we know now, I can't tell you. But it'll probably run into hundreds. We'll need to monitor it for a few weeks to get an idea of its full scope.
So we've got a couple of weeks. This kid's in danger.
I know. Do you want the truth? To even identify the person running this network could take a month or more.
But is it possible that Rixton could give us the username of the person in control of this network?
If he's been a member for a while, he might have figured out who he is, yes.
Okay, so that's where we start, right? I want every available body in for a briefing. 20 minutes, the incident room. Okay, the situation as it stands is this. Graham Rixton is downstairs in a cell. And we've got a very strong case against him for the sexual assaults on Shireen Taylor and Jenny Waterson. We'll also be charging Carl Newton with Jenny's assault. Now, we talked to Peter Williams earlier in connection with these crimes and later ruled him out. The reason you're here now is that at 21:43 tonight, Rixton and other members of the Sunshine in Our Lives paedophile network received an announcement from someone calling himself Domino Man. Tom.
8 YOWB is shorthand for 8-year-old white boy. In plain English, what it means is that Domino Man intends to abuse this boy at 8 o'clock tomorrow night and to stream images of it to the network live.
Sir, are you sure this can happen?
Unfortunately, yes. Live shows aren't common, but they are just about the nastiest thing you can come across in the paedophile world.
What happens to the child afterwards?
Well, it depends where he's come from. There's a good chance that Domino Man is a family member, but if not, if, say, he's been abducted, then quite possibly we might not see him again.
Anything we can do?
Yes, if we find the administrator of the network.
So why not just go after Domino Man directly? I mean, can we trace him from the server?
It doesn't quite work like that. What we're dealing with here is what's called a peer-to-peer network. This is the administrator here in the center. Now, he provides the network server. Basically, that's a computer dedicated to storing and transferring images and messages to and from the other members of the network. So, if Domino Man here wants to send a message or pictures to, let's say, Rixton over here, they go from Domino Man through the server and out to Rixton. And they're all encrypted, so any members of the network can copy the files.
So if we know who the administrator is, we can find out who all the other members are?
If you can get access to the computer, yes. He's the only one with full details of the data on all the members.
So, in short, if we can get Rixton to give us the username of the network administrator, then we stand a good chance of saving this boy. Terry, I want you with me on the interview. Grace is already liaising with CEOPS. Stuart, I want you on search and evidence gathering back at Rixton's house. Max, Rixton's background. Everything and anything. All right? That's it.
You never used to be so quick to sugar the pill.
Yeah, well, we were too late to get to Shireen Taylor. I don't think it'd do any good to have them demoralized before we start.
You know, even if we identify the administrator and work out where he is, it's not just a question of marching in and seizing the computer. These people, they have military-level encryption. A couple of keystrokes and they can lock out or wipe the entire system, and that's it. End of story. In less than 24 hours? If we manage to find the boy in that time, it'll be because we've been very, very lucky.
Yeah, well, you know me, Tom. I believe we make our own luck.
I want to speak to my own solicitor, that's my right. As we told you, under Annex B, paragraph A1 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act of 1984, I have reason to believe that informing anyone else may allow you to interfere with our ongoing investigation by warning others of your arrest. I have therefore suspended that right. Mr. Charlton is here as duty solicitor.
You may get away with this kind of tactic with other people, Superintendent. But unless I see my own solicitor, I have nothing to say. And I will be lodging a formal complaint. This is a travesty of justice.
Coffee.
No sugar, right?
Well, I thought you were sweet enough. So, can we identify our administrator?
Chances are he's based in the UK. The network was set up using a program called Codex 10 to encrypt the data transfers, you know? Now, that's produced by a British company. It's good too. It's military standard. Your man knows what he's doing.
So what now? What's the next step?
Well, we'll use Rixton's account to invite more people to join the network. Our people. And then we'll just list everyone that comes out to play.
What can I do to help?
Other than make coffee. How good are you on faces?
Not bad, I suppose.
Right. I'll show you how to use the facial recognition software. We'll see if the kid's been photographed before.
Look how they got downstairs.
What is going on?
Okay, come on, Jen. You stay there, all right? And just hang back there, okay? I'll be back in a second. Nixon's wife's here. She's been visiting her parents, apparently. Got the 2 kids with her.
All right, mate, you better let her in. I'll call the super, see whether he wants to break the news to her or not.
No, tell her the bare minimum. Let her put her kids to bed and then see if you can find out if she knew what her husband was up to. Okay, get back to me. Mrs. Rixton's just got back from a few days away with relatives. She's got both her kids with her.
How old are they?
8 and 10.
You might be able to use that to shake him out of no comment. Huh?
Yes, Gov.
Okay, Terry, go back in there with Max. I don't care how hard you play it, but make sure he knows that if he doesn't cooperate, then we're going to charge him with conspiracy to kidnap that boy. And if anything happens to him, we're holding him responsible. The more he can tell us about that network, the easier it's going to go on him.
The solicitor may not like it, even if he is only the duty brief.
I don't care. I want Rixton talking.
So, who's Domino Man, Mr. Rixton?
I've already said, as long as I'm not allowed to see my own solicitor, I have nothing further to say.
Fine. As far as I'm concerned, the longer you stay quiet, the better. Then we can add conspiracy to kidnap to the list of other charges against you.
This is intolerable. I know my rights.
Well, what about your responsibilities? Let's start with them, shall we? At 8 o'clock tomorrow night, your friend Domino Man is going to screen live abuse of an 8-year-old boy on the Sunshine in Our Lives network. 8, Mr. Rixton. A child. And you know how we know that? Because he sent you a message and a picture so you could be sure to watch. Shut up! How old are your own kids? One's 8 and the other's 10, right? You know where they are now? They just got back from seeing their granny and granddad. All tired from the journey. They're wondering where Daddy is and why the house is so full of policemen.
You have no right to do this.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Rixton.
Do you think they'll understand?
Why the police are asking them what Daddy did when he put them in the bath, or what Daddy did when he put them to bed?
Just leave them out of this. It's got nothing to do with that.
But you've already involved them. And if you keep refusing to cooperate, we're going to have to ask them more questions, and I'll tell you something now. I will ask them. I promise you that.
Grace, it's Superintendent Heaton. We have some information from Rixton. A username.
Right, could you spell that? Now, does he know, or is it a guess? Okay, sir, I'll find out. Rixton's decided to talk. Now, he's not sure, but he thinks someone with the username Antaeus could be the administrator. A-N-T-A-E-U-S.
IP address. Find derivation. Cross-match and source.
You got him?
Be sure your sins will find you out, especially if you pay for them on a credit card.
Sir, Antaeus is Matthew Anthony Lockwood, flat 7A, 23 Ramsmead Road. Okay.
I know know it's out of hours, all right? This is a very important police investigation.
I can't get hold of anybody at the Department of Work and Pensions.
From a few different countries. In the end, he still has to pay for his internet access. And that gives us a credit card and then an address.
Which is what we got. So we go in, seize Lockwood's computer, you get to know who Domino Man is, and then we get to the boy.
In theory, sure, but Lockwood's proved that he's hot on security. And remember, everything that goes into or out of that server is encrypted. So unless we have the key to unlock the coding, all the information is unreadable, including Domino Man's details.
So you're saying that even knowing who Lockwood is gives us nothing?
No. It means we can mount online surveillance, establish his habits, and that'll give us the best opportunity to nick him and assume his identity.
And you can do all that in, what, 20 hours?
No. A few days, maybe weeks, probably.
Tom!
I know. We see one little boy in danger, and we want to throw everything we've got into saving him. And we will throw everything we've got into saving him, because saving the boy is a top priority. But there are other children linked to this network as well.
So what are you saying?
There can be no mistakes. The fact is this. If you pull Lockwood now, you might maybe get lucky. You might persuade him to cooperate and give us what we need to know to find the boy. But we can't afford to mess up. We've got to get to that server before he does. Or we risk losing the boy and the network.
It's impossible.
Welcome to my world.
Okay, Max, Terry, Mickey, get round to Lockwood's house now. Do a recce.
That's about it from the news at the moment at 9 a.m. this beautiful sunny morning.
We'll know more when someone gets through to the DWP about his employment records.
Let me tell you something. We've sat here all night. We don't even know if he's in there. I'm going to walk past the flat. I can't tell. He's got a good view of the road, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, I bet that's why he chose it north. Mickey from Max, anything at the back?
No, nothing showing. Look, I'm going to see if one of the neighbours across the road will let us use their place as an opera.
Good idea. Get on to C-Op, see if there's anything new from them.
All right.
I'll let you know as soon as I have something, Sarge. Okay, bye.
Good news. Facial recognition didn't get a match on the picture of the boy. He's not in our database.
So why is... Oh, right, okay.
Of course, it doesn't prove that nothing's happened to him previously, but it improves the odds.
How do you do this job?
Counselling.
No, seriously.
Seriously. Counselling. And single malt whiskey. But it's a bit early for that, isn't it?
So, what are we looking for?
Well, anything that can help us find out who he is. Detailed background. I mean, forget about the boy himself and look what's around him. I mean, that's what everyone forgets. The camera sees everything. You leave a gas bill on the table and it gets in the picture. We've got you.
Has that happened?
Oh, yeah. Okay. What do you see on the wall?
A plug?
3-pin, so...
It's British.
Correct. But we already knew that. So find out something we don't know. Find the gas bill.
Right. The gas bill.
Anything?
Not that I can see. There's a light on, though.
Phil, look at this. Does that look like a logo to you?
More like a name.
Penny something.
Underneath, OCE.
RY, Ossery. Grocery. Penny something grocery.
Good. It's not as good as a gas bill, but it might give us something. I'll check how many businesses we've got in the UK with penny and grocery in the title.
Sir, the Department of Work and Pensions shows that Matthew Lockwood was employed by Littleton Paper in Hoxton as a deputy manager.
Right, Stuart, get round there. If Lockwood's there, arrest him.
Yes, sir.
Stuart, hold on a sec. There's a chance that Lockwood could connect to the server from work or have backup disks there. It'd be worth trying to stop him from erasing any of that.
Do you want to go? You know what to look for?
Sure.
Okay. If he's there, bring him back to his flat. I'll meet you there. We've only got 9 hours, so be quick.
Yes, sir.
Hello? Hold on, Sarge, I'll ask. While Robbo's at Lockwood's flat, they can't see him. Is Antaeus on the network?
No, he's not showing us logged in.
Did you get that?
Yeah. Let me know when he comes online, will you? Thanks.
You see that? The light just went off.
Could be on a timer. Mickey from Max, you see anything?
Negative. I got the bedroom and bathroom. No sign of life.
Penny produce, penny pincher, pennies not pounds, penny and lynch, a penny saved.
And how many are there?
29 different variations of business names, including the words penny and grocery. 327 different shops in 187 different locations from Kilmarnock to Gravesend.
Can I use this phone?
You want to phone everyone and see if they give out yellow carrier bags with a circular logo.
I know. I just thought it might narrow down the location.
A bit. And then what? I mean, how many carrier bags does any one shop give away every day, every week? And how far do we carry them? I mean, you can buy a pound of apples in Cardiff and eat them on the train on the way to Durham.
Okay. So what can we do?
Keep working the photograph. Every corner.
We might want to avoid spooking him until we know he's not sitting at a computer.
The old health and safety routine.
It's tried and tested.
Hey, mate. Oh, Mr. Lockwood is.
His office is up there. Thanks, mate.
Mr. Lockwood, hello there. I'm Stuart Turner. I'm a health and safety executive.
How can I help? I'm sorry, I didn't know you were coming.
That's all right, sir. Let's just stand over here for a second.
I don't understand.
Sir,
hold on, you just can't help yourself.
I'm Detective Sergeant Turner from Sandhill CID. This is my colleague, Mr. Faraday. He's from the Child Exploitation and Online Protection Centre. Now, sir, can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
What's going on? Why are you here?
Your full name and your date of birth, please, sir.
Matthew Anthony Lockwood, 16th of April, 1965.
Thank you. Anything?
Yeah, it looks clean enough at first glance, but I'll get someone down here to have a proper look. Mr. Lockwood, do you have any other electronic equipment? A laptop, mobile, PDA?
Laptop's in my bag. My mobile... But listen, what's this about? What are you doing?
Mr. Lockwood, I'm arresting you on suspicion of downloading and transmitting indecent images of children.
What? No, that's just...
You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something we should later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence.
John, we've got him.
The car, please, sir.
Where are we? I thought you said you were taking me to my flat.
That's right.
This isn't where I live. What's going on?
I'm Superintendent at Heaton, Sunhill. Are you Matthew Anthony Lockwood?
Yes. Look, why does everybody keep asking me that? I want to know what's going on.
What's your address, Mr. Lockwood?
45 Maydell Street, Sunhill.
Well, according to our records, you live across the road at flat 7A.
Listen, I should know where I live. If you went there, you'd see. Or check at work, they'll tell you.
Can you and Mickey take a statement from Mr. Lockwood, please? Come on, sir.
Hello there, this is DS Turner.
Tom, are we positive that the network server is operating from that flat?
Yes, it's there. We know from the phone line.
Thank you. Right, that was Littleton Paper. Yeah, his address is Maydell Street, Sunhill.
What's to say he's not keeping two places?
Yes, Grace.
Max, you want to know when Antaeus came onto the network? He logged on 2 minutes ago.
Thanks, Grace.
Sir, Antaeus is on the network. Just logged on. Means it can't be Lockwood.
Could be a case of identity theft. Antaeus using Lockwood's details as cover.
It makes sense. It would give him another level of protection, especially if he's got previous.
Unless we actually catch him on his computer. Should we do a house call? He's got to be the wrong place. Tom?
Hang on a second. Networking on wireless, which means that he could be anywhere within 200 or 300 yards. He knows we're here. Webcam.
200 or 300 yards. Where's that? Next door, another flat. Where is it? It's a white van! It's a white van! Stay to Stuart! Stop that white van! It's pointing right now!
Let's keep moving.
Mr. Williams, you want to tell me what you're doing here?
Yes, of course.
On my way to do some shopping. Is something wrong?
I thought you told me you didn't drive a vehicle and you didn't own a laptop.
Yours, sir?
No, it belongs to a friend. But I'm afraid it's broken. The hard drive's been wiped. He lost everything on it.
Step out of the vehicle, sir.
It's dead, sir.
Hi, Hannah. It's Tom. I need to speak to Phil.
Williams is on his way back to the Nick. He should be processed by the time we get back there. I should have picked up on this or questioned him twice yesterday.
He was telling the truth about Jenny and Shireen. He didn't have anything to do with them.
When he came to the Nick last night, he was playing us, wasn't he? Trying to find out what we knew. I actually felt sorry for that kid.
Look, you know Williams better than anyone else. I think you should do the interview. Convince him it's in his best interest to cooperate. Whatever it takes, as long as he tells us how to access that machine.
Yes, boss.
I don't think we're going to find anything here, sir. There isn't even a kettle.
We'll take it apart anyway. I don't want to miss anything.
Right.
And tell Stuart to let Lockwood go. Explain about the identity theft and give him our apologies.
Sir, about Terry. Is there something I should know?
You don't need to worry about Terry.
No, but if it impacts on the case...
Don't miss anything here, will you?
Okay, Phil. Thanks. The network's live, which means you didn't have time to warn anyone.
Well, can we get anything from the server without Williams' help?
Well, I'll ask one of our guys to get up here and have a look, but it's going to be an uphill struggle. I've already had a look at the laptop and everything's wiped.
It's just over 6 hours till the live show. But what would happen if we just pulled the plug on the server?
The network will go down. None of the members will be able to connect. They'd probably assume that Williams had been nicked and start deleting their files. And we'd also lose any chance of identifying Domino Man and finding the boy.
But without the network, then there couldn't be a live show, and that would buy us some time to locate the boy.
Maybe. But there are other networks. And if Domino Man already has the boy, there's nothing to say that he wouldn't finish what he's already started. I'll wait for our technical guy, and then we'll get back to base and see what we can get out of this. I'll give you an update as soon as I know anything.
Tom. Feel free to say I told you so.
What have you got?
Not sure. Thought it was just a designer's logo. I think it might be more than that. Can't make it out though.
Let me have a go.
The closer I go, the more blurred it gets.
That looks like a school logo.
St. Finn. Oh, I can't make it out.
Look, we can cross-reference schools beginning with St. Finn within 10 miles of a grocery store with Penny in its name.
Great.
Terry?
I'm ready to start now.
Look, if you'd rather step back.
So, that stuff that happened to me as a kid, it's all in the past. It won't be a problem here.
Okay. But the offer stands if it's getting too close to home.
Thanks. You're sure you don't want a solicitor?
I think we can sort this out without that.
Okay, so where should we start?
Well, what would you like to know?
Well, how about the truth?
Do you mean a universal truth? Like, who am I? What am I doing here?
No, I was thinking more of why you were in Ramsmead Road.
Okay, as I said, I was on my way to do some shopping.
There aren't any shops there. Look, we both know the real reason you were there was to connect your laptop to the server that we found in the flat.
The flat? Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. And as I've told you before, the laptop doesn't work.
How careful do you think you've been? We know that you've gone to a lot of trouble to assume the identity of Matthew Lockwood, to distance yourself further from the flat. All we need to do is find a fingerprint, one piece of DNA evidence that puts you inside that flat to make a mockery of everything you've told us so far.
Again, and I'm sorry about this, but I'm afraid I just can't help you.
Why are you treating me like I'm stupid? Am I being that discourteous to you?
I don't think you're stupid, Mr. Perkins. Far from it. I'm sure none of you are.
Well, then surely you must. Eventually, we will have enough evidence to prove that you're running the Sunshine in Your Lives network, that you are the administrator, that you are Antaeus.
Antaeus? My ancient Greek mythology is a little bit rusty, but he was a giant of some kind, wasn't he?
Peter, when you told me yesterday that you changed, I believed you. Help me out here, will you? And I'll do my best to help you.
I'm sorry, but in my experience, Mr. Perkins, people on your side of the desk rarely offer help unless they've got nothing to threaten you with. No offence.
I'm taken. But I've got an 8-year-old boy that's in danger. And I'm asking you...
I don't want any harm to come to anyone, certainly not a child, but if I don't know anything...
Yesterday, you told me that in recovery, the best way to deal with what you are is to tell the truth.
What I was.
OK, what you were then. So be honest and tell me the truth.
There's a flaw in your logic, Mr. Perkins. Obviously, you don't believe that I have changed. All right. If I have not changed, if I am still a predatory paedophile, then why would I tell you anything and incriminate myself?
Peter, in recovery, everyone slips up. Everyone takes a backward step. But that doesn't mean you've got to stop trying, does it?
You sound like a psychologist. Or is it personal experience? Oh, whatever it is. I'm sorry, I just can't help you.
OK. Why don't we take a short break? OK, if that's what you want. Interview suspended at 15:30 hours.
Mr. Perkins? Yeah. I just remembered something else about Antaeus.
What's that?
He was a giant, and I believe that the myth held that as long as his feet touched the ground, he was invincible.
Thank you, Peter. He's not going to go for it. He thinks he's fireproof. And he knows if he tells us anything about this network, he's going to stitch himself up.
We need something to shake him up with.
Why don't I take him to his house? It's clean, it's obsessively so, it's like a clinic. If he sees a Pulsar team ripping it apart, he's...
Anything he says over there, if it's off the record, he could deny it later.
Yeah, but Governor, even if he does deny it, and we get the kid, it doesn't matter, does it?
OK, take him down there. I'll get onto Pulsar.
I've got it. Just round the corner from Pennywise Mini Market. St Finbarras Junior School in Canley.
Yes, Grace. OK, got it. Stuart, St Finbarras Junior School, Haystall Road, Canley. Get down there with a picture of the boy. See if anybody there recognises him. Grace thinks it's his school.
So, do you want me to hold off from Williams till we hear from school?
No, we need everything we can get. We haven't got time for dead ends. Go.
Mickey, Stuart. OK. Boy's name is Simon Thomas. Now, the teacher ID'd him from the photograph. Yeah, his address is 29 Alder Way on the Brecon Estate. We're on our way there now, so meet us there, all right? OK. Let's go, Diane. Let's go.
Come on. How long?
3 hours.
What we're going to say? Hello?
Hello there, I'm Detective Sergeant Turner from Sun Hill. Are you Carol Thomas?
Yeah, what's the matter?
Miss Thomas, do you know this boy?
Yeah, it's Simon, my son. Is he all right? What's happened?
Do you know where Simon is right now?
He's playing football. He's there till 5, then my brother picks him up.
Where is that, please?
It's the playing fields down Goldwyn Avenue. Look, please, just tell me why you want to know. What's happened?
I'll explain in a minute. Do you mind if we come in?
Sierra Oscar from DC Web. I need urgent assistance on the playing fields at Goldwyn Avenue.
Is he here? Mickey!
He says he was, but I can't see him. Apparently the coach told all the boys to wait by the gates until they got collected, but...
Sarge, what can we do? Right, check the perimeter and make sure no one leaves. Thank you.
And his mother says his uncle's supposed to pick him up. If he ain't collected him already, then he must still be here.
Is he here by foot, on car?
Foot, about 6'2", blonde hair.
Right, OK, I'll check him now.
All right, excuse me. Have any of you seen this young boy today at all? Mate, any news? Nothing. He could be anywhere, Roger.
Hey, mate, you Stephen Thomas?
Yeah, how do you know?
I'm DC Webb from Sun Hill. We're looking for your nephew Simon. You seen him yet?
No, not yet. He ain't been out.
You sure?
Yeah. Well, I was, but I was a bit late getting here. I ain't seen him.
All right, Stephen, do me a favour. Wait there a sec, yeah? Sarge! Boy's uncle says he hasn't seen him yet.
I don't believe this. There's no sign of him in there either. I think he's gone.
What do you want to do?
I want to get some more uniform down and get a proper search going, just in case he's wandered off.
Sarge, I'm not being funny, but don't seem very likely. Not if you knew he's been collected.
No, that's what I'm afraid of. That someone else will come and pick him up.
Are you sure he hasn't just come and walk about? Okay, thanks, bye.
I shouldn't have let him change my shifts at the shop. It was only for a couple of months, but I didn't want Simon to miss his football. I knew I shouldn't have trusted Steve to do this. I shouldn't have believed him.
Believed him about what?
That he'd changed. That he was reliable.
Okay, why wouldn't he be?
He used to have a drugs problem, but he told me he'd stopped that about a year ago. He said he'd got help.
Okay, excuse me for a minute.
What's he doing?
It's okay, he just needs to call it in. Listen, Carol, would Simon have gone somewhere else if he thought that your brother wasn't coming?
Oh, I've always told him to wait. He knows not to go wandering off. Wait by the gate, he knows that.
Yeah, have you seen this boy? Mr. Thomas? Mr. Thomas? Have you taken drugs, Mr. Thomas?
Drugs? I won't. What you...
When did you score?
No, look, you don't understand.
Come here.
When? Listen! Just listen, right? I told him that I had to be...
Just I had to be what?
Look, I had to be here, but he won't hurry up.
Is he your regular dealer?
No, just the last couple of weeks.
Could be a setup. Someone got him on and took the boy.
Either that or he volunteered for the price of a fix. Domino Man had to get the picture of Simon from somewhere. This idiot's the perfect candidate. Get him down to the station, check his record, interview him, and find out about his dealer on the way.
Go.
Come on, sit down. I need to ask you about this picture. Do you know who took it?
It's one of mine. I mean, I took it.
Okay, can you remember when?
I don't know, a few months ago.
And has anyone else got any copies, family or friends?
I can't remember. I might have done copies for my parents and Steve. Why?
Okay, Carol, I wonder if you wouldn't mind coming down to the station. We can deal with this better from there. Is that all right?
I suppose so, but what about Simon when he gets home?
That's okay. We'll have someone here in case he does.
You know the search team's going to make a right mess of here, don't you? Honey, would you give us a minute, please? Peter, we just want to find the boy. We want to get to the man that's taken him. Tell me how to access the computer from the flat. Off the record. He won't be admitting anything. The network goes off the air. You go back to finish your sentence in an open prison. 6 months tops.
You really want to find this boy, don't you? I really wish I could help you.
Tony? Tell him to start in here.
Right, gents. Living room first.
Steve, what happened, Steve? Where's Simon?
They weren't there, you know.
Why not? He knew you were coming. You're using again, aren't you? What have you done? Where is he? Where's my boy?
Come on, they need to ask Steve some questions.
You think someone's taken him, didn't you? You think someone's taken Simon?
Listen, we don't know what's happened.
But that's what you think.
Carol, I know this is really hard.
Really hard? How do you know exactly? I bet you haven't even got kids.
Actually, I do. I've got a son and he's not much older than Simon.
Then you know. You know what it's like when you tuck them up every night and you're just so grateful that they're safe. But now...
Oh, look, come on, let's get you somewhere comfortable, shall we? Listen, I promise you, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that Simon's all right.
2 hours left. We might get someone to go on from the brother.
Steve, do you know the name of the fellow you bought the drugs from?
Nah, but he's just there when I pick up Simon.
What about this picture?
I don't know, I don't understand.
Well, did you give this picture to the fellow you bought drugs from at the playing field?
Look, right, a few days ago, he said that he knew someone, right? Someone who would pay for a picture, but I didn't realise...
Oh, what did you think he wanted it for, eh?
I've messed up, and I...
Just keep an eye on him, yeah? He's wasting my time. So, I've spoken to the uncle. You're not going to get anything worthwhile out of him, not at least till he's had time to straighten himself out.
Well, time's the one thing we don't have. There's less than 2 hours left. Have we got a list of all the kids at that football practice?
Yes, sir, from the coach.
OK. Get on to Max. I want somebody to visit the home addresses of everybody on the list. Talk to the parents and children again. Did they see Simon? Was anybody with him? Did they see a car, a van, anything? Somebody must have seen something.
Sir.
Why can't you just tell me what's happened?
Look, we're doing everything that we can. Everybody we've got is out looking for him.
So why can't they find him? If this was your son, you'd want to know, wouldn't you? Whatever it was.
Let me see if there's any more news, OK?
Diane, how's Simon's mother doing?
She's really upset and confused about what's happening. We need to tell her the truth. We can't keep avoiding it.
I know. How'd you tell her mother her son's about to be abused?
I don't know, sir, but I don't think I can do it.
OK. She might need a familiar face. You've been with her all the time. You up to that?
Yeah, of course.
Right. Carol. I'm Superintendent Heaton. John Heaton.
Have you found him? Have you found Simon?
Not yet. I'm sorry. Carol, I think you should know.
Sir. Carol, I don't know how to tell you this, but we think someone might have taken Simon. We believe this person is a member of a paedophile network.
Nothing. Full Monty?
Good idea.
Right, gentlemen.
Look, I really don't want to say I told you so.
I don't think you quite understand. They're going to start ripping up your floorboards now, taking your washing machine apart. And anything else you can think of.
Are you really sure it's me who's hiding the truth? Because I think it rather more likely you're the one with a guilty secret.
What are you talking about?
Quite simply, in my experience, those who shout most loudly and hardest about something are usually the ones with the greatest interest in it. Very well concealed, but often quite deep-seated. As they say, it takes one to know one. And I know what I am. There's no secret there. What about you, Mr. Perkins? Can you honestly say that you've never felt the urge, never once even wondered what it might be like? Because if you have, you can...
You and I are not the same. You understand me?
Sorry? Oh dear. Did he trip?
When he can walk, bring him out to the car, will you, Tony, please?
In your own time, Mr. Williams.
Mr. Perkins. I'm inside. I just wanted to say that I won't be taking it any further. I provoked you and I shouldn't have said what I said.
Yeah, right. Sure, Ed?
You're all right. He really wind you up in there.
He's not the type, is he?
What type?
Williams. He doesn't wind people up for no reason. Look, I'll see you back at the station, all right?
Sure you're all right?
Yep.
You really want to find this boy, don't you? Wish I could help you. Are you sure I'm the one who's hiding the truth? Very well concealed. In a days, he was a giant of some kind, wasn't he? My ancient Greek mythology's a little bit rusty.
Grace, it's Terry. Write this down.
Golf Hotel Lima, Papa Mike Golf. Got it, hold on. Is that a key? Terry, that was it. We're on the network.
Sir, it's Grace and Seops. They've accessed the server.
Grace? Can we get the details on Domino Man?
We're trying now, sir.
What's the delay? We've got less than 25 minutes.
They have to trace the line he's using for his broadband.
I've got it. The line's active. 22 Dalebank Road, Sunhill.
We got it, sir. 22 Dalebank Road, Sunhill.
Mickey, Dalebank Road, where is it? Stuart, get everybody together who isn't doing something immediately useful. And let Max know we've got a target address.
Sir, Dalebank Road.
How long to get there?
15, 20 minutes.
And we got what? 22 until this live show begins. Right, the first priority is the safety of this boy. There's going to be at least one adult inside, possibly more. So I want them down and secure before they know what's hit them. So that means no lights, no sirens. That's crucial. I do not want them to know what's coming.
I'll divert the feed so that other members of the network can't see this. They'll just think Domino Man's experiencing technical difficulties.
Sir, Domino Man's feed's just come online. It's live. I can see Simon.
How far away are you?
We're nearly there. What can you see
exactly?
No, the view's blocked. I can't see anything.
Can you just step this back? You're okay.
Units, go, go, go.
Your name's Simon?
My name's Terry. I'm a police officer. It's my badge.
Got him. I'll be safe.
Can I just get you downstairs? You hold my hand.
All right, Simon? You all right?
You're okay.
They got him, Phil?
You know what? I think that's your mum. Off you go.
How many are we looking at for the network as a whole?
So far, about 350, and about 2/3 of those in the UK, which is good for us.
Good?
We've got the details of everybody who has ever used that network, John. We can arrest them all.
Sometimes we get lucky.
Yeah. Sir, I'd like to put in for a leave of absence. My son's 11 this year and he'll be going to secondary school. I've missed so much already.
It's okay, I understand. Time spent with your kids is a precious thing. I'll sign the papers in the morning.
Thanks, sir.
Right, returning to this morning's top story, the Sunshine in Our Lives paedophile network.
The paedophile network was infiltrated by the combined efforts of Sunhill Police, headed by Superintendent John Heaton, and the Child Exploitation and Online Detection Team, headed by Superintendent Tom Faraday. We're expecting a live press conference any moment now.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. I'm Superintendent John Heaton. This is Superintendent Tom Faraday. We have a short statement to make. Early this morning, officers from Sunhill were involved in a series of raids coordinated by the Child Exploitation and Online Protection Team, headed by Superintendent Faraday.
Nationwide, 257 properties were searched, 6 of them in Sunhill. and a total of 315 people were arrested. This operation was one of the largest of its kind, aimed at detaining men who use an internet network to encourage, transmit, and exchange images of the abuse of children.
We're pleased to say the operation was a total success, and the network has now been closed down. Thank you.
There you go.
Have fun, huh?
You all right?
Now.
Next time on The Bill.
We got dead body.
Theft, ABH, dealing drugs, and just to top it all off, pimping.
Lovely. Danny, why are you doing this?
Doing what?
Pretending to care.
Now do yourself a favour, mate. It's 4 against 1.